Hey guys, welcome back to our weekly live event. I'm Pascal Corcus. For those who don't know me, blah. We're going to talk about finance, real estate, investing. We're going to talk about the coming depression. We're going to talk about all the things and the moves you need to make. I'll be answering all your questions along the way. And the beginning section today, we're going to talk about the moves I'm planning to make in the future, what real estate deals I'm planning to buy and stuff like that. Let me see. I think you guys can see well, except for like a little glare right there. Yeah. Yeah, that might have done it worse. Anyway, so today we're going to talk about what's next, right? What is the next thing that I'm going to be looking at buying once the market goes down and once all these deals start coming up? So things have been getting better. This is a great opportunity right now that I want to kind of let everybody know. It's a great opportunity to refinance, get yourself into some more secure long-term debt, pull out any equity you would like to pull out now before things go down, before the market goes down, and you are not able to basically access the equity that's inside of your home. So take advantage of it now while you can, and you're going to be happy that you did later, because I believe that most of the real estate equity is going to disappear probably 10 to 20% on the residential side, and on the commercial side, certain markets are going to probably have like 50, 70% drops to it. No, you're not late to the party. Party just started. So, all right, guys. So, as you know, I think the market's going to go down the next 12 and 24 months. A lot of the big players that I'm talking to think the same exact thing. So I'm buying only amazing deals, and I'm making sure that when I buy the property, I'm able to finish the deal, finish the rehab, and refinance into long-term, low-interest rate debt that's fixed for a long period of time. This way, I'm not exposed to ups and downs in the market. So that is what I'm doing now. Now, what I will be doing soon, I'll be getting to that. So everybody else, I think, should be doing the same thing, right? Follow my footsteps. Take out all the equity you can in all your properties. Hold on to your cash, because the deals that are going to be coming are going to be amazing. They're going to be opportunities of like a lifetime to buy, and this is where your wealth is going to be made. So get ready to save your money, and so you can pull the trigger and buy the great deals that are coming. Now, what I'm going to be trying to buy, and I know some people are trying to go live and talk to me right now on IG. I'm going to be answering the questions probably in like 10 minutes after I go through my explanation of one of the things I'm going to be looking to buy while the market goes down. So as you know, I do have some Airbnb properties, and doing very, very well. Today, I think I did almost like $25,000 in business. People prepaying for like their stays, and it was a great day in business. I was out there. Again, I do a lot of the work myself. I will meet tenants. I will negotiate deals, especially if I think it's going to be a bigger deal for a larger amount of money, if I can work on a long-term deal. So it's a great business, but many Airbnb owners are going to go out of business. Many hotels are going to go out of business. With the last 2 to 3 months of like 9% occupancy, and now there's occupancy slowly going up, but with occupancy needing to be around 70%, meaning 70% of the time they need to be have people in their units to break even. This has not been able to be accomplished for the last 3 or 4 months, okay? Because of that, they basically ran out of all their money, and they're listing a lot of properties for sale. They're just trying to get out of them before anything else happens. I believe we're going to have a problem after the election. No matter who's in office, we're going to see this major problem surface of lack of liquidity in our market. There's not going to be enough money out there. So people are going to start dumping assets. So initially, you're going to see prices fall. And this is going to be a great opportunity as you see the prices fall over the next 12 to 24 months. You're going to start seeing them probably in 12 months after the forbearances are over, right? Forbearances meaning the government has allowed people to be up to 12 months behind on their mortgage, and it doesn't reflect on their credit report. So once the forbearances are over, people are not going to still be able to pay their mortgages, people that own all these Airbnbs. So they're going to be great buying opportunities for properties on the water. I'm really looking forward to buying like a nice, I really am confident that I could probably pick up like a $5 million home on the water for probably around like 1.5 million, and like right on Clearwater Beach on the sand. And I think I'm gonna be able to pick up probably like hotels. Now, going into what I'm looking for, hotels, I'm gonna specifically try to get hotels that are not efficiencies, but suites, that are majority suites, like 1-bedroom suites. So when I'm picking up this type of property, I'm going to be trying to get hotel suites. So why am I going to get hotel suites? Even if the market tanks, right? The market drops and the hotels are going to go up for sale. They're going to probably sell, to be honest with you, you know, you're going to end up probably paying, 20 cents on the dollar. So you're paying 20% for these deals. Not 20% off, but literally just 20% to buy it. So my goal is to try to find something that's like a $10 or $20 million hotel. And let's just say a $20 million hotel and pick it up for like $4 million. Okay. So a $4 million hotel, probably going to have around 120 rooms. So at 120 rooms, if I can rent 120 rooms and just get $1,000 a month, which normally these hotels will rent a room out for $180 to $300 a night, right? So they're getting $6,000 to $9,000. Well, my goal is probably to rent 80% of them or 70% of them at $1,000 a night. So let's just say it's a 100-room hotel. I'm going to bring in about $70,000 a month just from the income from like annual tenants that are going to pay me monthly $1,000. I'm going to leave the last 30%. Now, just so you guys know, if you're not seeing it that great on IG, on YouTube, you can see a lot better. Plus, the audio is a lot better on YouTube as well. So now so this is 70% of the units. The other 30%, I'm going to keep them on like short-term Airbnb, like keep it as a hotel style. So those, I'm probably going to just say I'm conservative. I'm bringing in $2,000 a month. Okay. So that on the other 30%, so I'm going to bring in, say, that's 30,000. That's 60,000. So I'm bringing 130,000 a month on a $4 million property. So basically, the calculation comes to, right? We're going to say expenses on this deal is, we're going to say 35% expenses. Put it over here so you can see better. 35% of this is expenses. $45,000 a month, which leaves you with $84,500 a month times 12, 1 million. That's what you're going to bring in. That's what you're going to bring in a month. Okay. Now, at a 5 cap, this property is $20 million, which is initially what it's worth because I bought it at 20% of the value. They're not going to be able to make the money trying to do it as a hotel. And because these hotels are run corporately, most of them do not move fast enough. They have their playbook. They only play by these rules. If it doesn't fit these rules and it doesn't fund, they let it go. Okay? And these loans are non-recourse. That means if they let it go, the bank's not going to come back against them for the money. So that's how I'll be able to pick it up for $4 million. Once I get it fully occupied, I'll be able to pull these numbers. As the economy gets better, I'll start shifting these units from bringing in $1,000 a month to bringing in $2,000 a month. And I'll be increasing the income more and more and more and more. And even if I don't, even if at 50% occupancy, I'm still making money. I'm still making money. I'm still covering the bills. So the deal will work. It is that simple. The numbers I know sound like, well, Pascal, you're making it sound so simple. It really can. The numbers are that simple. It's being able to stomach it, having the gut to be able to handle this type of deal, to go in that hard, So once 3 or 4 years go by, I restabilize a property, I fill it up with tenants, we convert it back to maybe a fully functioning hotel, the economy slowly gets better and better and better, I'll be able to flip this deal back for $20 million. And I'm probably only going to have about $1.2 million into this deal. That's my goal. This is what I'm going to be trying to do when the market goes down, because hotels are going to tank. And preferably, I'm going to go for suites, not studio style hotels where like it's basically all open, which is a studio. I'm going to try to get hotels that have mostly suites. So it'd be easy to have someone come in and live in a 1-bedroom suite, because it's like an apartment complex, except they'll be on the beach. So wish me luck. But again, I have God's favor, so I don't really need luck. So this is what I'm planning to do. I'm very, very positive that this is going to happen. I have many other large investors having the same plan. Now, with this style specifically of real estate, they're probably looking to buy other styles or other types of real estate, but we're all basically thinking the same exact way. Now I'm going to open it up to you guys for the Q&A regarding either this deal or any questions you have on your own deals or financial questions. Thanks for all the likes, guys, on YouTube and IG. I appreciate it. I appreciate all the love. So on IG, it says, am I too late to the party? No, you're not. You're good. What's up, Alex? What's up, little rascal? Appreciate all the love, guys. Lots of questions here. Okay. This is Sud said, should I select a market just based on the rental yield or also look at the crime rate, population growth, average household income for e.g. Indianapolis and Cleveland aren't great places, but good rental yields? So what they're saying is, should I only look at rental income when I'm making a decision on what to buy? Or should I also consider other factors like, crime rate, population growth, average household income? I do think you have to look at those other factors, because if you have great rental yields, that means you're bringing in a lot of money in rent compared to the price you're paying per unit. What could happen is the population is shrinking. And because of that, the price of the properties keep dropping because there's less people that want to buy properties. And if you're in a downtrend, more and more people could move out, which is not going to cause rents to go up. It's actually going to cause rents to go down. And then as time goes on, you're going to see rents are going to keep going down more and more. And you're like, wait, my rental yield's going away. It's disappearing. And what's happening is my property value is decreasing as well. So then you could buy another property next door to you for even less money than you bought yours. So the goal in real estate is really not just the rental income. As if you watched all my previous videos on IG, like a lot of the ones I put out like a year ago, I'm teaching you guys that the big money you make is in appreciation. In this deal, I just said I'm going to buy it for $4 million and resell it for $20 million. Where am I going to make my money? Appreciation of the asset. So rental income is a part of it, but you're not going to get rich off of the first fourplex you get. You're going to bring in enough money, and you really shouldn't even use that money. You should be building it up for your next deal, because your goal should be to grow your portfolio over 20 units to start bringing in a significant amount of money. So then you can start living off of some of the cash flow and building your wealth, because your money you're going to make is an appreciation of the asset. So yes, you should be looking at population growth. You should be looking at the crime rate. You should be looking at the average household income, but not just what it is currently, but seeing, is it growing? So your average household income doesn't have to be high, but if you're seeing it grow 10%, 5%, something in that range every year, that's a positive outlook. Because if it's currently low, but it keeps growing every year, that means you can probably be buying the property at a lower price, and the property is going to be worth more in the future. Since everyone's going to make more money, you'll be able to raise the rents more in the future, and you're going to be building your wealth because the property is going to appreciate significantly. Remember, for every $100 you increase the rent on a 5 cap property, that means you basically increase the rent roughly about the value of the property roughly $20,000. Every $100 will increase the value about $20,000. So appreciation, very important. I got some questions here on YouTube. April's asking, do you ever call in a home inspector before buying something, or just go by what the contractors tell you? I know if you do a home inspection, you are then required to disclose any defects to the buyer. We almost bought a house at auction this weekend, but when the auctioneer mentioned there was no septic, it caught me off guard, and I was afraid I would go over my limit. You are inspiring. Thank you, April. So first point, if I'm the buyer, I will get a home inspection. Now, you as a seller, do you get a home inspection? No, normally you don't. Right? I've never done that before, right? I get a home inspection when I buy, not when I'm selling it. Now, thank you for the love. I appreciate it. Now, regarding when you were going to buy a house, now it's strange that you said it didn't have a septic, so you didn't want to buy it. Most homes in Florida don't have a septic system. They have public. So it's not a big deal. It doesn't have a septic. Now, there is some properties, and my first property that I bought had a septic system. And it's okay to have a property with a septic system. It's actually cheaper to own a property with a septic system as long as a septic system is kept up. Now, you might ask, what is a septic system? So a septic system, for those who do not know what that is you have in the city, you have what's called a sewer system. So when you flush the toilet, all the liquids and all the solids go into the city pipes, and they go to the place where they manage all the waste. In some rural areas, you will have what's called a septic system, which means when you flush the toilet in your house, it goes into this tank. And then all the liquids in that tank will eventually overflow, and they go into this drain field, which is in your lawn. So then your lawn soaks up all that water, which is actually kind of good for your lawn because it's actually naturally fertilizing your lawn. So if you put like vegetables there, they would actually grow very well. Now, the solids usually will stay there. Eventually they'll break down, and the bacteria will break it down, and they'll disappear. Sometimes they'll build up. So once every roughly 18 months, a company will come with a truck, and it'll suck out all those solids. Basically, your number 2 when you're going to the bathroom. They'll suck it all out. And they charge you like $200. I think the current rate is like $225, $250 every 18 months. But if you think about it, your sewer cost on a single family home or a duplex is $60 a month. So you're saving about $1,400 every 2 years compared to only paying $200. So you would spend an extra $1,400 a year if you're on a sewer system, or if you're on a septic, you're only paying $225. As long as you're maintaining your sewer system, it's going to last. As long as you're maintaining your septic system, it'll last a very long time. So it's actually cheaper, and you have more cash flow. So April, I don't know what your concern is about having a septic, having a septic system, if it was a problem, if it wasn't a problem. You basically have a septic inspection before you buy the property. You can hire a septic company. They'll suck out all the solids. They will inspect it. They'll tell you if anything's wrong. Most of the time, the only thing they have to do with the septic system is replace the pump, which is like a $600 or $700 every like 10 years. Other than that, you're going to be good with it. I mean, I had a septic system I had to get replaced once, cost me like $4,000. Again, if you're doing that once every 20 years, what is that, $200 a year? If you average it off the life of the unit, not a big deal. If the asset's worth it. If the asset's not worth it, and obviously it's not worth it. Great question. Hugo says, wish you all the luck, Pascal. Thank you, Hugo. But God's been very good to me. God blesses me, and I'm very thankful for that. God's got me through like some amazing rough times, and I know he has great things planned for me, and I hope and I pray that you guys pray as well, because for those that ask, they get, right? For those who seek, they find. So all of you here are seeking, so that's the first step, right? Good luck. I do have a lot of faith in everyone that's watching my content, because I'm literally giving you everything that I had to learn the hard way, and it's here. So as long as you're just using the information I'm giving you, like that's the one thing I can't do. Like there's a lot of people that I know that I just gave the information to and they just didn't do anything with it. So if you use it, you'll benefit. All right, let's go here. What's up, Goer? Gina says, if you were new and only had 200K cash, how would you start? So Gina, 200K cash is a lot, because I only started with like 32K, and I was able to flip the 32K from 19 to 23 years old. I flipped that 32K into like $3 million in real estate. So $200,000 in cash is a lot. Most of the time when people have a lot of cash and they just start, they end up blowing their cash like in the wrong ways. And they think spending a lot of money will make them money. That's not automatically true. Spending money in a smart way will make you a lot of money, but just spending money doesn't automatically mean it'll make you money. Someone today told me, hey, you should put in metal roofs on your properties and it'll last you forever. And I said, okay, I mean, that is a great idea. I really like that idea. I wanted to do that, but a metal roof cost me 3 times more than a shingle roof. And a shingle roof has 20 to 25 year life. A metal roof has about a 50-year life for insurance. So even though the metal roof could last me 100 years, after a certain point of time, the home insurance company or the insurance company is going to charge me more money because I have a metal roof. Now, we know it's going to last a very long time, but they don't care, because they want to see that you put on a new roof every 20 years, because they know that the roof will be in better condition statistically, so they'll give you cheaper insurance. So when I run the data, even though it'd be really cool to have a metal roof, I don't want to spend 3 times more money if I don't get a return on my investment. So spend money when you can calculate a return on your investment. Zubar says, good luck. Well set plan. Thank you, Zubar. Val says, are you buying any stock? I'm not really buying any stock, even though I like buying stock. I'm cool with it. I feel like the stock market is going to tank hard, and I don't want to lose any money while there's opportunities to buy in real estate. I also don't want to keep my focus on my stock market when I can keep my focus on the real estate market and find great deals. So I did buy GOLD, which is a gold mining company, and it has gone down since I bought it. But I believe that's because everyone thinks the economy is getting better, which it's not getting better. And when they realize that it's not going to get better and things start getting worse and worse, that stock should skyrocket, in my opinion. So I bought some, and I'm buying some more soon. That's what I'm doing. April said, Pascal, the home inspector question was for flipping a house. So no matter what, when I buy a property, I get a home inspection, right? I always get a home inspection. Now, sometimes I will do the home inspection, okay? So if I don't get a company to do it for me, I myself will go. Because some deals, like the last deal I bought was like about a 4,000 square foot house, and I was going to get it for $280,000 in a great part of town. So that's an amazing deal. And I have to do this deal with like no contingencies if I wanted to get it. And I have to do an all cash deal if I wanted to get it. So what did I do? I went and did the inspection myself, saw, okay, I was able to figure out the problems. And I said, okay, I'll give you a cash deal, no inspections. Now for them, that meant an inspection period. But for me, I already did an inspection before I even put in my offer. I walked through the property. We crawled underneath the building. We checked everything we needed to check to get a rough idea of what's going to cost us. And we're only going to be off of like maybe 20, 25% off. But it was fine given how much profit we can make on a deal. EPOV says, Pascal, what should I pay attention to when I choose accountant? Thank you so very much for sharing. I mean, you should find an accountant that specializes in what you do. Like if the accountant says, oh, I do everything, then doesn't mean you're going to be like the best at everything, right? If you're saying if you want to do real estate investing, then you want to try to find an accountant that specializes in real estate investors. So ask them, the volume, can you give me percentages of what type of clients you have? Like what businesses, what industries are they in? And you want to focus on one that has a real estate specialty. It's kind of like when you hire, the one thing I've learned is this: if you hire a handyman and he says, I'm good at everything, it's a problem. He's probably not good at anything, right? Or he's not great at anything. He's like, okay. But if you find someone that says like, I can do everything, but really I'm good at framing, or I'm good at like trim work, or I'm good at painting, like, people are going to be honest, right? You need to find someone that's going to be honest. And sometimes it's not good to be great at everything, or it's difficult to be great at everything. So Richard says, who's we? For your deal that you personally inspected, you and well-trusted contractors or real estate agent? Oh, when I said we, so it's like me and one of my handymen will inspect it. He'll go crawl underneath. He's like 65 years old, but he's a beast. He is actually good at everything, right? But he's been doing it since he was a kid. So he's been doing it literally since he was like 14. So he's been doing it for about 50 years. So he is actually good at everything. But there's certain things he's not great at. So then I'll hire someone else, because even though he's good, when you're great, you're also fast. So he's not that fast at certain things. He's also 65, right? But he's awesome. He's a blessing. So then I'll hire someone else to do something faster. So he checked everything. He's like, yeah, it looks good. Like it, it's not going to be, it shouldn't be something major. All right. So EPOV says, that makes so much sense. Thank you. You rock. You're welcome. Richard says, nice. Smart man. Thanks, Richard. Let's go to IG. Let's see what questions we have here. And remember, guys, on IG, ask to go live. I'll answer your questions face to face and really be able to get into details for you. What do you think about wholesaling real estate? I think wholesaling real estate is great, especially if you're new to the game. Wholesaling real estate is really great because you're able to really if you only have sales skills, you can do well in wholesaling real estate, because that's really what you need is sales skills. Eventually, you're going to get better at estimating deals and figuring out what type of deal that you should actually not wholesale. You should keep yourself and and have partner up with someone and have them do the remodel. So that is why I think wholesaling is good. At the same time, if you don't have money, you can flip the deal to someone, make 10, 20K, 5K, something, and not miss out on a good deal you found. And that's a good way to make partners too, because by you finding these deals, you'll be able to make friends and eventually find good alliances you can make with other investors when you find bigger deals. So wholesaling is a good way to start, especially if you're really great at sales and you have a lot of time to hammer the phone. It requires a lot of phone time. So you have to get on the phone, you have to talk to people, you have to convince them to sell you the property at a deep discount. Good question. April says, if you see mold and it's bad, do you avoid the property like the corona? So if I see mold, no, I don't. I don't avoid anything, to be honest with you. And normally I buy the very bad properties that have a lot of issues. I like them because most people avoid them, right? That's part one. Most people are avoiding these deals. I'm not avoiding these deals. At the same time, because they're a big headache, they're big profits. And I like the deals that have big profits. So I actually try to go for those deals, and it makes it easier for me because at the same time, what I'll do is I'll just gut everything in the property and almost leave it as a shell. Then I'll get a mold remediation company, and then I'll redo everything brand new. So then I don't have to worry about any problems. Everything will be new. Everything will be nice. And the real point with that is you have to get a good deal. You must get a very, very good deal to take on the headache, because it's not only the money you're going to spend to remodel it. You also have to consider the time it's going to take you to finish the property, and time is money. So you need to make sure to get it to cheap enough for it to justify your time. All right. Got someone, looks like Dylan wants to go live on IG. Let's see if it works.
Oh, yes.
It's acting up. Hello? All right. Didn't work. So David on YouTube says, how about a 100-year-old foundation that's crumbling and in a terrible shape? Well, David, the house I'm buying in downtown is 125 years old. Or no. It's 100 years old. It was built in 1925. And the foundation is crumbling a little bit in some parts, but that's not a big deal. I mean, you literally just jack it up, and then you have to pour, say, a new foundation in certain parts, or just stabilize a foundation on certain parts. So it's not that big of a deal. Even some parts could be settling. It could be a very cheap fix. So not that big of a deal. It just depends. You need to get it inspected to determine how bad is it. Now, in our area, historic homes in downtown areas can get a premium. You can get a lot of money for a historic home in a downtown area. So it could be worth your while to get one. But if you're in the wrong part of town, where you're in a low income area, a historic home might not get any value for it, right? It might be like worth less because they might want newer homes that are more efficient. So it depends what area you're in, if they appreciate it or not, and basically downtown areas, it's almost like a collectible now. All right, so Ipov on YouTube says, I found a single res for $8,500. Not the best area. It's a complete gutter. Will need all new systems, but can be sold for $70K. People think I'm nuts to consider it. Well, I'm not saying you're nuts to consider it, but what's it going to cost? Because if you're buying it for $8,500, and I mean, if it's complete redo, like roof, electrical, plumbing, AC, everything, that's like $50,000. So you're going to be $60,000 in to a deal you're going to get $70,000 for. And by the time you pay realtor fees and expenses and costs, it's another $6,000. So you spent like 6 months to make $4,000. I don't know what your costs are, but I'm running it roughly in my head. And again, it's not worth the time to make $4,000, right? You can literally work a job somewhere and make that $4,000. So the goal of this, my goal, right? Everyone does real estate for their own reasons. My goal was freedom. I did it for freedom. Now I'm willing to work 100 hours, and I've worked hundreds. I still work 100 hours now, but I only do it for the things I want to do it on. And I would love to do more deals than say 2 or 3 a year, but I only do 2 to 3 deals a year, 2 to 3 deals a year, because there's only that many that are profitable right now. So I'm very picky because I want to do more deals and I like doing deals, but I'm not going to do a deal just as a hobby and make no money. So I'd rather just spend my time studying, spend my time doing my like powerlifting, mixed martial arts, spending time with my kids. I mean, I think you've seen me put up a lot of pictures of my kids today. We had a lot of fun today. You know what I'm saying? Like, it has to make sense. And so EPOV says, I'm a realtor. That is a save. Laugh out loud. So you did save 3% of the commission from listing. But again, 3% of $70,000, like that's $2,000. So, okay, you're going to hustle and sell one home and make the same amount of profit than this deal. And this deal is going to take you 6 months. So like, it's not, I don't know, in my opinion, it's not worth the time, right? If you're saying, hey, I want to practice, okay, if you want to practice, then you can go ahead. I would try to find a deal that has more profit to practice. Because if you screw up on this one that you're practicing on, you're going to pay money out of pocket to sell it. Or you're going to have all your money gone and stuck in this deal. And now you're a landlord in a position you don't want to be a landlord. And now these great deals are coming out and you can't buy them because all your money's stuck in this deal. So just be very careful. Dave says, thanks, Pascal. You're awesome. You're welcome, Dave. So EPOP says, that's an awesome explanation. You're welcome, bro. Yes, thank you very much. You're welcome. Aladdin says, is there any way to get a mortgage without proof of income? Yes, you can get a mortgage without proof of income. Normally, you have to put down 70% on the property and have the income from the rental property enough to cover your mortgage, taxes, insurance, and estimates for repairs and maintenance. So no, you can buy, you don't have to have proof of income to buy a property. Like most of the time when you're buying rental properties, like I don't have to prove my income to buy a rental property. It's based off of that property's profitability. Now, if you're buying a rental property that's empty, then you need to, if you go to a hard money lender, they'll have to see, can you make this property profitable? And is there enough money in the deal to make it profitable? So it really depends. Thanks for all the love, guys, on IG. So question on IG says, what's the first step in real estate investment? Studying your market. Because if you don't know what you're buying, it doesn't mean you're going to make money. You need to study your market to know what you're buying and what it's worth. That is the first step, because you make your money in the buy. You make your money while you're acquiring the asset. That's how you know you're going to make money. So this property, it's a 4,000 square foot home, $280,000. Most of the homes in the area are selling for $200 a square foot. So that means I should be selling it for close to $800,000 if I do a good remodel. Now let's just say I want to do not an amazing remodel, but a good remodel, and I'll just sell it for $600 because I want it to be fast. I want to get out, and I want to leave some profit there for the homeowner to say, you know what, I got such a great deal. I'll put in my own pool. I'll put in my own whatever, okay? I'll still make money. I'll have made $400,000 into the deal. Sell it for $600,000. I made $200,000. I have so much room for error. Market tanks. I sell the property for $500,000, right? So if the market goes bad, it drops. I sell for $500,000. I still made money. Do you see how much room for error there is in this deal, and why I'm not concerned? So you need to have a lot of room for error in your deals. All right. Again, guys, you want to ask some questions, feel free to go live, and be happy to answer it face-to-face. So regarding forbearances of home loans that are in forbearance, will home loans go 12 months before? Sal, I can't see the rest of the question. Let me see if I can read it. Will home loans go 12 months before being auctioned off? No. So in a forbearance, what happens is they're going to give you 12 months to make your payment. Now, really, it's not 12 months automatically. It's actually 3 months, and then you get an additional 3 months, and then you get an additional 6 months. And you basically have to prove documentation along the way or supply them with whatever they're asking for to push it along. At the 12-month period, what they're really trying to do is get you to pay back that money and not push the money to the end of the loan. Now, if it's necessary, what they'll do, they will take the money that is owed, the 12 months of payments, and move it to the end of the loan. And they're probably going to do some type of loan modification. Now, the thing with forbearances, though, even though your credit score doesn't drop, the credit report will say you are in forbearance. It will show that your normal monthly payment, let's just say, is $1,000. It'll show that you owe $2,000 or $3,000. So if you're going for a refinance, if you're going to buy another property, if you're trying to do something else, other type of loan, whoever you're trying to borrow from will know that you're in forbearance, and it'll make it more difficult for you to get lending, another loan. All right. Hello, how are you? You're live.
How are you doing today, Basco?
I'm doing good, buddy. How are you doing?
Good. I wanted to ask a question. I'm actually 18 years old, and I just graduated high school.
Cool.
I wanted to ask, do you have any advice for somebody that's just starting off in this business and this market?
For sure. So I think if you know my background, I wanted to get in when I was 14. So I was studying since then, and I was finally able to buy my first, because I fell in love. I really thought it was awesome. Real estate investing, someone paying you money to borrow your stuff, the government giving you most of the money to buy the property, and you get to keep all the profit. That's an awesome, where are you going to find that? It's a great opportunity, right? So I started studying everything that's in my course, credit, getting my credit right. Because the better the credit, the lower your interest rate. The better the credit, the easier they're going to say yes to you. I started studying tax returns, how to make your tax return look good so they could say yes. I studied everything I could to make sure that when I go to the bank, they'll say yes to me. I studied how to save money, how to invest money. I studied the different types of loans you can get, because there's 1,000 different loans you can get. And then I studied how to find a deal, what you should be doing when you're trying to get a deal, inspections, running comps, running numbers to see is it profitable. And then I also got my mind right. I read a bunch of different books. I talked with a lot of different investors and got my mind right to understand how they think, because the way you've been taught and the way everybody we know thinks is not the way that's going to win.
Okay.
Because if they did think that way and they acted that way, they would be winning. Okay. Meaning, what I mean by winning is, I'm not saying somebody that's your teacher that loves being a teacher and loves making, $35,000 a year. They're winning too. They got what they want. They're happy with their life. But if you want to say win in the sense financially win, you have to follow the people that are winning financially. And you have to be able to think the way they think, because most people don't. It's very few people think that way. So in my course, it basically teaches everything that I learned by the time I was 19, so I can start doing all those deals. And that's how I got to 23 units by the time I was 23. So you need to do that, do all those things. And the better you make each one of those pillars, those financial pillars, the easier it'll be for you to grow financially, right? If your credit's weak, then it's going to hold you back. If one of those things are weak, it's going to hold you back in some way. And until you can get that part better, then you can start growing again. So make those things better and study your market, right? So that's part of the pillars, right? Is by knowing how to buy a deal and valuing deals to see if it's good or not. You're going to need to study your market so you're very good at running numbers. Because when you see a deal, you should be able to know right away, yes, it's good. No, it's not. You're in, you're out. That's it, Like,
yeah. I was just like, because I've had like a couple people around me that have invested into real estate, and actually I've heard that I want to achieve passive income. I want to achieve financial freedom at a younger age. So I feel like I really should start focusing on this market, on real estate market. So I actually wanted to ask, how can I get into your program?
So the link to my class is in the bio. Like if you just click on the link, it'll take you to get into the class. It's available now. It's on sale for the next, I think, 8 or 9 days. It's on sale for like $297. Then after the 8 or 9 days, it's going to go to $997. It's really important to not buy anything unless it's an amazing deal for the next 12 or 24 months. Now, you're not going to know what's an amazing deal, so be extremely cautious, because if you screw up, it's going to take you a long time to recover. So just be very cautious, study, prepare yourself, be very comfortable, run 100 deals, like literally 100 deals on pen and paper that you're looking at on like Zillow or Realtor, and you're running the financials to say, is this going to be a good deal to rent? Am I going to add value? All that information. How much money am I going to make? And you run all the scenarios. When you do 100 of them, you're going to get comfortable. And it is no different than when you were in school learning algebra and you literally had to do the problem 100 times to memorize the concept.
Yeah, okay. That's awesome, man. I really appreciate you helping me out, man. Thank you so much.
No problem. And good luck. I know you'll do well. Just keep studying. You'll do well.
All right, thank you very much, man. You have a good night. Okay, I'll stay in touch.
You too. So it's about sticking to it no matter what. It's really about sticking to it no matter what. Because, yeah, it gets hard. And I'm telling you, it's really hard. And passive income isn't passive in the beginning. You have to work. And if you work, it will work. Remember that. It isn't passive in the beginning. It becomes passive. And especially if you're trying to make the big money. If you're trying to make the big money, it's definitely not passive in the beginning. But eventually you're going to stabilize the asset, and then you're going to make a ton of appreciation. What's good?
Hey, what's going on, man? How you doing?
I'm doing good. You're live.
So I had a question. I mean, my main thing is I've been studying real estate for a couple of years now,
Mm-hmm.
and I kind of went through the whole wholesale thing and trying to do flips and stuff. But now I'm truly trying to focus on more of the passive side of real estate, which is rental. But my main thing right now that's holding me up is I don't have enough capital for a down payment. So I've looked at a bunch of different options as far as like HELOC on my main residential property. But as far as that, like I just don't see numbers really working out right now on any deals that I've come across. So like that's one of my biggest hurdles right now. I just don't have capital.
Okay.
What do you suggest as far as like trying to overcome that?
So step one, where do you live?
I live in Arizona, Phoenix.
Okay, so you're in a decent market. You're in a decent market.
Yeah.
How much is your house worth?
It's easily 260, 270.
Okay, 260. What do you owe on it?
170.
And do you have a current job?
I do. Yeah.
So you have a stable income. Okay, 270.
Yes, I do.
So this is what I do: 80% loan to value, cash out refi. I would take the money out right now. One, because I think when the market tanks, this 270 is going to drop to like 220, 210. Your equity is going to disappear. Then the other 20%, and yes, you should probably be able to get this right here at probably like a 3.5% interest rate. This other 20%, get a line of credit, and the second you see the market tank, the stock market tank, you go to the line of credit and you pull all the money out, because they're gonna the line of credit, another 20%, which is gonna be what, like $54,000. They're gonna take that away from you. The bank is gonna take away your line of credit that they gave you when they see that you don't owe anything on it when the market tanks. So you must take the money out. So, and that's going to be roughly probably at like 4.5% interest rate. Then once you see everything, and then from there, it's going to probably take about like another 6 months before you find some deals. Along the way, you can try to flip some things, like wholesale some deals, right? Because wholesale is not bad, just move it to someone. Because again, you can still flip properties right now if you have a crew and you could do something fast. If you can't, I would really be hesitant to encourage someone to do it. Because if you're stuck in a remodel or you're stuck trying to sell that property when the market goes down, you're really going to be in a tough position. Because
that's what I read up on.
Because in the forbearances, when the forbearances start getting when they stop doing the forbearances in 12 months and all those properties start going up for sale on the market, it's going to be really tough. It's going to be tough. So I would pull the money out, go 80% loan to value. You're going to be sitting on the cash. The line of credit, get the line of credit, but don't pull the money out yet. And then just kind of, and then again, run some numbers. Maybe you will find some multi-unit deals, because there's some people that own multi-units that are doing Airbnb, and they are really losing a lot of money, and they're not into the long-term game. So you might be able to buy a multi-unit from them.
Makes sense. So as far as right now, you wouldn't really suggest trying to get into anything right now?
No, you can get into something. Just make sure what you're getting into is very profitable if you're going to flip it, and you can do it fast. If you're going to do it long-term, make sure you buy, renovate, and refinance before it goes down. So I'm looking to get back into this 1 8-unit property that I let the contract go. But I have a crew of people that are going to go in, renovate the 8 units right away, get it done probably in like 6 months, and then do a refinance and pull out all my money. So I won't have any money in the deal. So then I don't care if the market goes down and I lose equity. I don't care. I already have all my cash out. Yeah, I just want to make sure. What my goal is to make sure that you have the cash, so when deals come available, you can pull the trigger.
Okay, so definitely apply for that line of credit as soon as possible.
The first step one is do the home refinance.
Yeah. Okay.
The home refinance step 1, the line of credit step 2. I mean, if you don't want to do the refinance and just do the line of credit and have a larger line of credit, you could do that. That's your choice. What is your interest rate right now on your home loan?
Like a 3.2.
That's pretty good. So, depends on your area. You might be able to still get another 3.2. But I definitely understand why you might not want to do a home refinance and pull the equity out, because you're like, what am I going to do with this cash? Maybe there's some stuff you could pay off. I don't know. But at the same time, you could find an investment opportunity now.
Yeah, just been looking.
Yeah, and then the last thing is kind of like, you have a good night. So the last thing with what he was saying is that finding a good deal. What you got to know is this, is that when the good deal comes, you have to be ready for the deal. You can't have a good deal come and then try to find a way to pay for it. It doesn't work that way. You have to have everything prepared when the deal comes. You have to have everything in order, so when that deal comes, nothing is holding you back. You're ready to go, because otherwise there's somebody else out there and they're going to go to get that deal. Someone that's more prepared is going to get that deal. So you need to be the most prepared. All right. George on IG says, what are some platforms to track my expenses and revenue on real estate? Can you pay all of your expenses through there? So I don't really I use Excel. I mean, really, you don't need anything more than Excel to track your expenses on a rental property. I mean, there's not really that many expenses. And then every quarter, I have the books done through the bank statement. Can you put expenses through your rental property? Yeah, you can put expenses through your rental property. It's a lot easier to put expenses through your like a construction company if you own it. So like cell phone, car, things like that. You can still put your car through your rental property, but obviously it's easier to write off most of your miles if you have a construction company. Hugo says, if I house hack a property, how can I show the bank the rental income? Normally, you would show the bank the rental income on your Schedule E. You'd show your income on the Schedule E. Simple answer, right? All right, guys, let's see. What is the best to learn financial literacy? I don't understand the question. There is a group of books that I suggest reading. I'll put the link of all the books on my YouTube page, and I'll have all the books in the caption section of this video on YouTube. So tomorrow at 10 a.m., the video will be live. Underneath, you'll have all the books that I suggest reading. Again, it's on my YouTube channel. My YouTube channel is my name, Pascal Corcus. Go out there, subscribe, like the post, leave a comment. Appreciate all the love, guys. Got another question. Says, what is the best type of property to invest in? Multiplex, vacation home, etc. I mean, it depends the area you're in, right? Multi-unit properties are great. Mobile home parks are great. Vacation rental homes are great. It depends where you're at, where you're located will determine what is the best. So multi-unit properties, I feel, are the best. Concrete block multi-unit properties are the best, in my opinion. But your area might not have them. So maybe if you're in, say, Toronto, you might want to try to buy a condo and house hack the condo and get some roommates. So the money you're collecting from your roommates is enough money to cover your mortgage. Eventually, you're making enough money that you're going to go and put the property up on Airbnb and Airbnb the property. And when you don't have any people there, you can go live there yourself. When you do have someone there, you can go and go borrow your buddy's house, pay him a little bit of money to crash, and you're going to have the difference from all the profit you're making on your Airbnb. So it depends the market that you're in for what's the best type, right? That's why I try to teach you guys all different types. So depending on where you are, which strategy are you going to take? If you don't have a lot of money, then you can wholesale deals. So it all depends what market you're in. Next question is, if I bought a house and I have about 15K in equity, what would you suggest doing? I mean, you can get a line of credit to get that equity out. Obviously, you're going to bought the house, put some money down. So when you get a line of credit, you'll be able to get the money that you put down back out plus the 15K in equity. So you'll be able to have a line of credit. And that money you could potentially use to buy another property with. Or remodel your existing property to add more value. It depends on the condition of the house and the market you're in. If you don't need all that house, you could possibly just sell the house and take the cash and wait for the market to go down and buy a multi-unit property. All right. Jojo King on YouTube says, love you, man. Love you too, Jojo. I need some water. I'm like slurring my words. Okay. Gabriel's question is, how do you pay for your rehab on your second property? Do you use the rents from the first property? I'll use the rents from the first property. I'll use the cash from the line of credit on the first property. I'll use credit cards. I'll use basically anything that I need to use to make sure that I have the money to do it. After I finish my rehab, at that point in time, I will go and either do a refinance on the second property and pull out equity to pay off all the credit cards, or I'll get a line of credit to pay it all off. And, really it depends. I'll probably do the refinance first to pay off all the debts, all the credit cards, and then from there get a line of credit afterwards, and then try to do it again. Roar says, didn't really tank with the stock market when coronavirus came. So the reason the real estate market didn't tank when the stock market tanked is because the real estate is lagging. Usually it lags about 12 months, 18 months from the stock market tanking. So we won't see the effects for it until next April. That's why we haven't seen it. It takes a while. A foreclosure in Florida takes almost 2 years. So we're going to see, and the forbearance is 12 months. So we got 12-month forbearance plus 2 years foreclosure. We're not going to see real estate foreclosures in Florida, in some of them, until like 36 months. So it's going to be a long tail on the issues from the coronavirus. A very long tail. So don't think, oh man, I only have to say 6 months or 12 months to buy deals. No, you're going to, in 12 to 24 months, you're going to start seeing a lot of opportunities. And at that time, you're going to have like 3 years, 5 years to buy and renovate and to grow and all these opportunities for you. Right now, I believe it's really high, and we're probably at the height that we're going to have for another 10 years. The question that came in, it says, what's the situation if you want to refinance if you had a private investor to fund mortgage? There really isn't a situation. You just go to the bank and ask to do a refinance. You're going to say, let's just say your property's worth $200,000. You're going to do a refinance. The bank's going to give you up to usually 75% loan to value on an investment property. So they'll give you $150,000. That $150,000 will be spent to pay off all existing liens on the property. Anything left over after that amount, they'll give it to you in cash. And that is what would happen in your situation. Now, there is some situations where people owed more money. There have been situations people owed more money than the bank's willing to give them on a refinance. But the refinance is, say, at 3% and the hard money loan's at 15%. I've told those people, all right, we'll take the extra $10,000 out of your pocket, pay down the loan $10,000 at the closing, and save whatever, 12% in interest, because that's an amazing return on investment. If you can save 12% on your loan, that's a lot more money in your pocket. Another question here says, should you invest money through IRA? You can actually buy real estate through your IRA. You can actually invest with me on deals through your IRA. You do have to make a couple of steps, a couple of moves before you can do that. But yes, it is possible. I'm going to ask a couple more questions before I call it a night. I love him, etc. His question was, should a 19-year-old get an IRA? Yes, a 19-year-old in certain situations should get an IRA. I wouldn't encourage it right away because, to be honest, I would rather have the 19-year-old put the money to the side and have it ready to buy their first investment property. Now, if they're working at a place where the job will match your investment into your IRA, so if you put in 6%, they put in 6%, or if you put in 6%, they match you 3%, then I would do that matching amount just because it's free money. So yeah, I'll take advantage of the free money. the government does allow you to take out up to $10,000 out of your IRA without a penalty to use it towards buying your first property. Those are the conditions I would encourage someone to put money into the IRA when you're getting free extra money. Otherwise, it normally does not benefit them. Got a question from Ivan. It says, can I buy a four-plex with an FHA loan, live in the property for 6 months, then move out and rent all 4 units? Now, can you do that? Yes. But the FHA loan is not meant for you to move out after 6 months. You must intend to live in it like for longer than 6 months. There is no said time. There is no said period of time. But if they do want you to live in it longer than that, okay? I think at least a year. Now, is that if you have to move because the job is far and you need to go, it's too far for you to drive, is there reasons for you to move? Well, anything bad happen. It's unlikely for anything bad to happen, right? Or for them to say anything about you moving out, because it's logical that you wanted to move and be closer to work. But it's intended for, FHA loans intended for owner occupancy. So is it common, the question you're asking, is that a common thing that we see people believe after 6 months of getting an FHA loan? It happens sometimes. It's something that's allowed. All right, last question. Is tax code 1031 only for the U.S.? Yes, it's only for the U.S. because the 1031 exchange or 1031 tax code is the American tax code, right? So 1031 is only in our tax book. Now, could other countries have something similar to a 1031 exchange? Yes, it's possible for them to have that. Do I know what that code is? I don't know what that code is. Because our tax code is like this big, and I've really had only enough time to study our tax code. But yes, your countries could have something similar out there. So guys, over the last basically year, you've been asking for a course for you to learn more about real estate investing and to be ready for all the great deals coming. It took me almost a year to put this together. It's called Foundations of Personal Finance. The link is in my bio. So if you go into the link in my bio on my IG page, you'll find the link. And I'm also going to add the link to the bottom of my YouTube video. For the next 8 days, the sale is still going on. So after that, the price is going to more than triple. You're going to learn about, it's called Foundations of Personal Finance. You learn about credit, down payment, tax returns, finding and closing on your deal, loan types, and psychology of an investor. So definitely check it out if you want to take your game to the next level. You're basically going to learn everything I learned to get me to 23 units by the age of 23. I hope it's a blessing to you as it was a blessing for me to learn all that information. If you guys have any questions, please leave it in the comments on YouTube. The video, again, is going to be up tomorrow at 10 a.m. I'll see you guys again Wednesday night at 10 p.m. You guys have an amazing night.